Greetings, it's Elizabeth right here from beautiful Costa Rica, and I want to talk a little bit about connecting to ourselves and how important that is, and all the different aspects of ourselves. So what happens when we go throughout our lives is we have these different events that take place, and they're really just moments in time where something happened that may have been difficult and challenging for us, and perhaps at that time we didn't know how to fully feel and express the emotions that we had, and so then we weren't able to move through it. So a part of us stays behind at that time and is not able to move forward with us. So then we have all these different aspects of ourselves that are stuck in the past and are really asking for us to pay attention to them. So for example, when we're younger, we don't always know how to process our emotions. So say you moved from one school to another or one state to another when you were 8, and all of a sudden you just got up and left everybody you knew and you went to another state and you started in a new school, and you have all these feelings. Maybe you had some anger at your parents that you didn't realize was there, or sadness at having to leave all your friends. And so then what happens is those emotions get stuck inside of us and they create energy blocks. So that's just one example. It could be anything, a divorce, whatever it is that you weren't able to fully process as a younger version of yourself. So then what we need to do is go back and connect with that part of us that is feeling, that still needs to release those emotions, and talk to them. This is the work, this is part of the work that I do with people. It's reconnecting you to you. And you have that deep conversation and you release the emotion. And then it frees up that stuck energy so that you feel more whole and more integrated. And you are also reconnecting with yourself, giving yourself the love that you need from inside of yourself, right? So often we are looking for that love outside of ourselves. We are looking for that connection outside of ourselves, and the acknowledgement and the appreciation outside of ourselves. Whereas when we do this kind of work and we reconnect to those parts of us that are asking for our attention, our acknowledgement, our love and recognition and appreciation, and we make that connection, then we are giving those things to ourselves. We are self-sourcing, and we are growing our relationship with ourself. Right? So that's one example. It's very powerful work, because 40 years could go by, 50 years could go by. I worked with a man who was close to 90 the other night, and his younger self really didn't want much to do with him. He was like, "Yeah, bud, what do you want?" When he showed up to say, "Hey, I'm here." And then by the end of the session, they had merged and were fully in love with each other again. And that was very, very powerful for him to have that experience at this later stage in his life. And then yesterday I worked with a man, who's in his early 50s, and same thing, had that reconnection and really, really felt the value of it, and was able to release those stuck emotions and felt a lot more relaxed. And I too do this work on myself. So I think it was last Sunday I woke up and I just had this really strong memory come up in my mind of when my parents moved me out of my home, the town we were living in, and then I felt so much anger and rage that I'd never allowed my 15-year-old self to experience. And so there I am lying in bed crying and yelling at my mom and dad, why did you take me out of there? And things that I didn't do back then. And it allowed the 15-year-old to release all that pent-up emotion that she'd been holding for 43 years, And then I just felt such a clearing, so much more light the next day, because I was addressing the pain from the past, processing it and releasing it. So this is a really important exercise and way to feel more whole and balanced and honor all of your younger versions of yourself and what they went through, and show up for them. I'm here. I love you. Every feeling, every emotion that you have is valid. I see you. I understand you. And you have every reason to feel this way. And then you just let them feel that way. So if you are ready to do some of this emotional release work with me, and while I'm doing it, I'm sending energy. And the people I work with are in the US. I'm in Costa Rica. Very powerful. So you can go onto my website, energyhealingteacher.com, sign up for a session, and we can do an hour, we can do an hour and a half, but you will see and feel the benefits of this work. All right. Hope you have a beautiful day. My website is energyhealingteacher.com, and if you can please hit the subscribe button and the like button as well. Share this video out to anyone who you think might benefit from this kind of work. That would be awesome, because we all can. All right, have a beautiful day. energyhealingteacher.com. Ciao.